Architectural Builder Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
I'm just getting, I think I have all my options chosen, but I just wanted to run it through somebody that looks at this every day because it's a weird thing for me.
Sure, you want an L9050, but it's supposed to have a deadbolt?
Well, so yeah, exactly. That's what my architect has spec'd in the plans. He says, just verify the L9050 is available with a thumb turn on the inside.
Well, it does have a thumb turn, but it doesn't have a deadbolt.
Okay.
You want me to expand on what an L9050 is?
Yes, that would be great.
Oh, okay, so it's what we would call an office function. In an office function, it allows you to open and close the door at all times. With the thumb turn on the inside, you rotate it 20 or 30 degrees, and that will disable the exterior trim. You can always get out. And, that's how that works. So if someone's in the office, let's call it an office, and you throw the thumb turn, you have privacy. The only person that can get in is someone with a key.
Gotcha.
But there is no auxiliary deadbolt that's involved in that scenario. Okay,
so the scenario is this: the door is a 2.5-inch thick acoustic door.
Opa.
That's the application. It's on a detached garage, so it is exposed to the elements in the Northeast. It's a studio, so security is important because that's the main door to the studio, recording studio. So the door, what they usually, I think the issue is this door that they've gotten, it is weather resistant, but it's not an exterior door. They don't actually make acoustic doors as exterior doors. So we've kind of prepared an awning and we're protecting it that way. So I think the reason that they've spec'd an office mortise lock is because that's what they usually put in them when these doors are on the interior of studios, right? So given that, I think that whatever the inside part of the L950, the part that goes in the door, that is the size that we need. That's the part that we need. So my question to you is there a model of the L9050 that does have a deadbolt?
You can definitely add a deadbolt. I would suggest that you just go to the L9453 function, and that will give you, that's a proper entrance lock, and that's going to give you a deadbolt. The other than giving you a deadbolt, the thing that the 9453 will give you is when you leave and pull the door closed, it's going to be locked. With the office function, you're going to have to lock that from the outside every time you leave.
Gotcha. Which I don't know, in this application, it's in the back. It's basically a garden studio in the back of our house, right? So, and there's no bathroom or anything. So every day I walk out there to work in the studio. So I'm trying to decide which is more annoying and secure. Balance that. It's do I have this key on me all the time? Meaning every time the door closes, it locks. With the one, so the office, you said the office one would stay open, right? If I turn the thumb thing, it would stay unlocked, right?
Yes, it will. And
the other one locks automatically.
Well, you can.
More secure.
Yeah, you can leave it so that it locks automatically. You can also leave it so that it operates as a passage. The issue with
okay.
yeah, so I guess it depends if you're securing Marshalls or Bogner Shivas. One's going to cost
there
more.
You go. All right, good.
Or Mesa Boogie, my personal favorite.
There you go. I'm a Mesa guy too.
Yeah. So I really think.
A lot. I mean, it's a full recording studio, so
Yeah. What you need is an alarm backed by ADT, but you need mechanical security as well. I would just.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have a deadbolt, and be sure to not lock yourself out.
Right, exactly. That's the thing. So
or put access control.
So I had been down this road with them where we spec'd out a Schlage LEBMD GRW. Which is their wireless.
Yep, cylindrical lock. Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, and that one has a deadbolt, right?
No. There's no deadbolt in that. No, that's just a cylindrical lock.
Okay, because they call it and it says mobile-enabled Mortise deadbolt lock, but there's actually no deadbolt, if I understand it right. It's just the normal Mortise locking.
The part number was what again?
LE, B as in boy, M as in man, C as in dog, -GRW.
LEMB. Let's take a look.
Sorry, LEB as in boy, MD. LEBMD -GRW is the Greenwich model.
Yeah, there's no deadbolt involved in that. That is,
gotcha.
Well, actually, no, there could be. I think that's going to be based on what Mortise case is there. And that's not a bad option because it's going to give you the ability of access control.
Exactly.
Which might be, not an awful idea.
No. I mean, this is my choice, but the problem is I can't find this lock anywhere, and they're saying it's caught up in the chip shortage, and who knows when it's going to come in.
Yeah.
So my problem is I have my acoustic installers who are going to install this door coming likely at the end of January, and I have to have a lock because once they put the door in, I have to have a way to lock it. So I can't risk. So that's why I was going back to let's just go back to the original architect's plans of getting the mechanical lock. And my understanding is that the 9050 is the Mortise part that goes in the door is compatible with this LEBMD one. So I could upgrade to the wireless one later if I wanted to.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I mean, you're going to end up buying two locks is the bottom line.
I know,
but
it's stuck. You guys don't carry the LEBMD one, right?
We do, but I am also seeing inventory being a problem.
Right. And do you have any? What are they telling you in terms of lead time?
I don't really have an up-to-date answer beyond the fact that stuff that's not in stock is taking several weeks.
Right. Yeah. Copy that. Okay. What's your price on the LEBMD one?
Let's talk. You wanted a BRW, the Broadway lever?
I don't actually really care too much about the lever. If I had a choice in finish, I would go dark finish, like the antique aged bronze or antique bronze. But I'm actually not even picky on that. I'm more whatever is in stock is, whatever works.
Yeah. LEBMD. Let's take a look.
Thanks for your help with this, by the way. I appreciate it. This stuff is so confusing for a non-lock person.
I think it is for a lock person. Yeah, I've got to take a walk and see if I can piece one together. And what I'll do is I will, in a moment here, ask you for your email and find out what the story is on this lock, if I can put any of them together. The problem with the L9050, though, is the latch bolt is retracted by the lever or knob from either side, unless the outside lever is locked by the key or the thumb turn. So that means every single time you leave, you're going to have to put the key in and turn it and lock it. Otherwise, it's always unlocked. So that's that. And then there's the other option where you can leave it unlocked all the time or leave it in the locked status all the time. Third, leave it in the locked status and throw the deadbolt. So it'll always be a matter of, am I locked or not locked? However, with that, that access control, the LEBMD, it's going to be locked.
Right, exactly. Locked. And I have a wireless way of getting in and out. Like if I not lose the key, but leave the key in the studio, I can get to it.
Well, the other way around, I would also plan for, because batteries, stop working.
That's true.
So having a mechanical means of bypass will be, you're going to want to hide a key real good somewhere. So the question.
Well, just on the deadbolt issue, because with the any model that has a proper deadbolt, right? It's like as you're saying, we could get that maybe other model. The issue is these guys are insane about the door and protecting the door. So the whole thing is this door is the only. We've gone crazy everywhere on isolating sound, and the door, even this crazy door, is the weakest point in the isolation of the acoustic shell. So they don't want to put any holes in the door, additional holes beyond what they would need to put in there for the L9050. So, and that includes the frame too, even holes in the frame. So they've signed off on the L9050. So I don't know if when we're talking about adding a deadbolt, if that would require additional modifications to the door. If that's the case, then it's out.
It would not add additional function holes to the door at all. Regardless, great. You're going to have a cylinder on the outside. You're going to have a thumb turn on the inside. So it doesn't affect what you're doing. There's going to be an extra hole in the strike plate.
Right. So is it basically just like that? To me, the mortise part looks like a kind of a rectangle, like a metal book. And if you get the version with the deadbolt, there's just like an extra deadbolt that pops out of it.
There's a deadbolt above the latch assembly, is what it is, and we call it a big giant cassette tape. It looks like
cassette tape. But is the deadbolt popping out of the cassette tape?
Yep, right out of the edge of it.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. So then, and that is not on the L9050, right?
The 50 function does not feature a deadbolt.
Got it. So then on the 50 function, when you're turning the thumb thing on the inside, you're just locking it like an office door. But on the version that you said, when you're turning the thumb screw on the inside, are you locking the deadbolt?
Nope. Yes, you're throwing and retracting the deadbolt with the thumb turn. So there'll be a toggle button in the edge. And that toggle button will always stay in a certain position, which means the inside is always unlocked and the outside is always locked. You come in first, and your bandmates are going to come, or whatever the deal is. You hit the toggle, and then everyone can come and go until at such a point it's time to lock it up. Either put the key in and throw the deadbolt, which locks everything down, and then you walk away and you're done.
Okay. Okay, that's great. So, and is that version, the cassette tape, the same physical size as the L9050? Oh,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the cassette itself is absolutely identical, with the exception of the internal parts that go inside of the cassette. Okay. And in fact, we actually call those cassettes. That's the proper term.
Okay, so I would say then, best case scenario, we go for the wireless version of it. And then next best would be the deadbolt version of it, and then third best would be the 9050, what they expect. Do you agree with that?
I do, absolutely. I mean, I personally would insist on having a deadbolt. It's a lot harder to bypass a lock with a deadbolt than it is without one. To Lloyd the latch bolt, the ever famous scene where there's someone jimmying a door with a credit card.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that with a deadbolt. So I wouldn't consider the 50 the proper function, even remotely close for this application. It's the wrong function, in fact.
Yeah, I think that's right. So, okay, so, and the other thing that I wanted to point out is the door thickness here is 2.5 inches. So I know with the LEMD one, you have to order something special to make it that thick, but actually, I think it said the max thickness on that part was 2.25 inches, not 2.5. So I was
yeah, and that's
so
that's where this conversation leads to. So 2.5 inch thick, that's not a problem necessarily in itself.
Okay.
To have doors for greater door thicknesses than 1 3/4. The issue is we have to know, is it extended equally? Will that cassette be in the exact center of the door, or will it be biased towards one side or the other? Because all of the parts are dependent on how that is positioned in the thickness of the door.
Okay, understood. So
as does the pricing and availability.
Yes, right, exactly. So I think we can let the pricing and availability dictate that. I'm going to check with the installer who's going to install the door. So I think that, if you tell me you can get me X lock in time for him to show up, it just has to be center or biased one way or another. I can have that conversation with him and make sure he's aware. Yeah.
Yeah. Centering it, is an easier way to go because, 2.5 is not an exceptional door thickness. Whereas
that's not.
Yeah, no, nothing. There's really nothing unusual about it.
Okay, cool. So would that 2.5 inch door thickness work with the wireless version too, the LEMD?
Well, I am in their book, in Schlag's book, and I see that they list it for only up to 2.25. Now that doesn't mean they won't entertain it otherwise, but they don't even list it as, hey, ask us, we'll quote it, or hey, here's the price if you go up to this range. The fact that they don't list it at all tells me that there's trouble. And they list door thickness in multiple places in the price book for that lock. So I'm thinking that's a hard stop. Having said, I was going to make a suggestion that won't apply at all to STC. I was going to say you have somebody basically route the face of the door 1/8 of an inch on both faces to make that lock think it's 2.25. It's a trick that we use, but it obviously would not be the thing with an STC door that costs a whole bunch of money. Yeah. Is there a proper STC rating with this door?
Yeah, 51.
Oh, okay. So not stratospheric, but definitely up there. Definitely up there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the damn bass player.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a one-room build, and it's like the whole ball game comes down to this door. Yeah,
I've been involved indirectly with the Chicago Symphony. With the building, the structure. A lot of cork is used. Everything is isolated. Nothing touches nothing.
Right. Everything's floating. Yep.
Everything is floating. Yeah, it is pretty interesting. The other thing that you could do is, your door manufacturer will have a list of all the gasketing appropriate that would be necessary to achieve STC 51. That may or may not include cam lift hinges, but you don't want to have the neighbors calling you after you've spent that kind of money.
Exactly. Okay, so I feel really comfortable with you. You understand the project and what I'm trying to do, and it's always really helpful in these situations. I found throughout this whole project when you find like an electrician who also is, in a band or whatever,
Yeah, well, at least he can throw around a couple of names and know what he's kind of talking about. Yeah.
Exactly. So I really appreciate it, and so I think you understand my struggle. So if I want to give you my email.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.